So you've probably been working your butt off and finally saved some money to get your FX3, but then you saw the ZVE1 and you're like, man, that's like half of the price. And you don't know if you should get that one and get a couple more accessories or to go for the nice FX3. Well, of course, dog have to get all crazy with it. All right, let's take this inside. Let's go grab this camera real quick. I swear my neighbor does this all the time. It seems like every time I let my dog out, she purposely lets her dog out, and then they start barking, and then my other neighbor gets upset about it, and it's a whole big deal. Now let's start off with the FX3, the dream camera that a lot of YouTubers want to get. I hear it all the time on all the FX3 videos, is the dream camera, and it truly is. This thing is a beast, and it's compact, and it's just the body design, everything. I think Sony really knocked it out of the park with this one, and I think it's going to be very hard to compete and make a version 2 of this. I don't even know what else they could add to this, because honestly, to me, I think the camera is perfect. And with that being said, let me tell you a few key features that I really like about the FX3 and that make it different than the ZVE1. So number one is going to be that fan. Having that fan, especially for the type of work that I do, which is weddings and long form videos for my church and events like that, I do need that fan, because having that peace of mind that this camera is not gonna overheat is huge, and I just can't live without that. Now, the other underrated feature that the FX3 has over the ZVE1 is going to be that dual SD card slot. That is very important for the same reasons. You're going to wanna have that dual backup memory card so that you have redundancy, and in the case that one memory card fails, you have that wedding ceremony saved on a separate card. Nowadays, you can buy cages for both the ZVE1 and pretty much any camera out there. They give you all the mounting points. So the mounting points on the FX3 also are not a deal breaker for me. Now, moving on to this, the ZVE1. This thing is a beast. It has the same sensor as the FX3. So in terms of image quality, you're gonna get the exact same thing. Native ISO 640 and 12,800. So in low light, this thing is going to be a beast and match up perfectly to my FX3. One of the plus features that this camera has over the FX3 is going to be the AI chip, and that was one of the biggest things that I wanted this camera for. The autofocus on the FX3 is amazing, but this thing is super sticky, especially if you're doing YouTube videos, vlogging, or filming yourself. Having a camera that you know is gonna stick on to you, whether you walk 20 feet away and come back, or get out of the frame and come back in, is amazing. I don't know what kind of sorcery they put on this camera with the autofocus, but the AI chip is truly a big difference from the FX3, and I absolutely love it. Now, while the AI chip is amazing for filming yourself, I don't think I necessarily need it on the FX3, because most of the time I'm operating the camera and I'm filming other people with it. So, but when using the FX3, I like to have full control of the focus so I can rack it myself however I want, and I really don't need those AI features. So I don't know if I want those for FX3 too, if they ever come out with one, or 6K either. Honestly, 4K right now is good. If they add 6K, I think that would be kind of cool, but not necessary. I really do feel like we've reached a peak of technology with image quality with any camera nowadays, especially with any camera that's come out in the last like 5 years. All of these cameras produce a very awesome image if you know what you're doing with it. I say learn how to expose, learn how to shoot and log and color grade, and you're gonna be able to get an amazing image out of most cameras nowadays. The reason why I got the ZVE1 was for this, for YouTube, for vlogging, and for my smaller clients. And by smaller clients, I mean my content creating clients where I do short form content. This is content that I can always reshoot if worst case scenario, I lost the data, or there are also clients and jobs that I don't charge as much. They're very easy, quick run and gun type of jobs, and so the liability is very, very low on the things that I have to turn in. Not that you can't use this for a long interview. I've actually used this camera and tested it out for some of these YouTube videos, and I filmed as long as an hour-long clip multiple times, and it has not overheated on me. I think one time I ran it literally for like 2 hours, and then I started seeing the little overheating icon, but it never turned off on me. I decided to turn it off. So other than that, I don't know what a lot of these YouTubers are saying that it overheats or what they're doing with it. I do only shoot 4K 24 frames per second, and then randomly for slow motion, I will shoot 4K 60, but at 4K 24 and 10-bit S-Log 3, this thing is awesome and it hasn't overheated on me at all. So you can be assured that this thing is going to be awesome for that short form content, and you can even push it up to like a 30-minute interview. I think you just have to plan ahead when you're using this camera. You got to be able to know the capabilities of this camera. It's not meant to be used like the FX3 where you can run it for hours and it has that fan to let go of some of that heat. This thing is definitely an amazing camera for YouTube, and that's what I got it for. So if you're planning on just doing YouTube, I would say definitely go with the ZVE1. You won't be disappointed, and with all the features that it has and the AI autofocus, you're gonna be super happy with it. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully that helped you guys decide on whether to get the FX3 or ZVE1 depending on the type of work and where your journey is going to take you. Peace, catch you in the next one.